what is the big deal with hanging onto a plane for 8 minutes? I mean, you've been in longer flights than that. Come on now.
Super Debatable is under cruise control this week. In our last episode, we debated whether or not Tom Cruise should retire from performing his own stunts after the Mission Impossible finale. But what's not debatable is how chock full of killer stunts that franchise is. So today, we're going to put those stunts in head-to-head matchups until only one is left standing. And then that stunt will tear off a mask and reveal it was actually one of the other stunts that we thought was dead. We're going to do this tournament style, so let's begin with our first round. Ready, Akeem?
Yeah, what do we got? When I first saw that, I remember thinking, this is so CGI'd up. And it looks so fake.
You don't like this one?
It looks so fake. It looked like he was just like gliding in the air towards the train. It's like he was ice skating on air. I don't know. I wasn't really sold on that one.
I actually thought it was really cool in the fact that it's like the helicopter has become a fireball rolling towards him at the end.
Yeah.
And that really the best part is at the very end when the helicopter blade stops right at his throat. That is classic. That is awesome. But I don't know, I like it.
Really?
Yeah, well, let's see what it's going up against. That is an all-time great scene. From the first Mission Impossible movie, I know the stunts have gotten really big and elaborate over the years, but that was just so simple. There's so many different elements of tension in there.
Yes.
And the stunt, I guess, is him being lowered into the room and him doing that awesome save at the last second of keeping himself taut so he doesn't hit the pressure-sensitive floor. That was so iconic when it came out, and it still works to this day.
Yeah, not only that, but it's been emulated in so many different iterations, like in other movies, and that parody that scene. Like, it's so iconic, and it goes to show that you don't need explosions to really sell a stunt.
So as far as this head-to-head is concerned, I think this one takes the case.
Bar none, yes.
This one
100%.
takes the cake, not the case.
No, yeah, I'm all for that one. This one from MI3, I loved it. This was the first time I've ever seen an explosion where instead of the person being propelled forward, they were propelled to the side. Honestly, I love this one.
It is incredible.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Well, normally in action movies, they're slowly walking away from the explosion, unaffected, right? But the shock wave that comes with that explosion just knocks him into the car, and you can tell you really feel it when he hits that. And short and sweet, but great. Yeah. So let's see the next one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I was cover my eyes when that happened.
Yeah.
So that one, I think, is really cool because they actually did that with a knife. It had a cable on it to make sure it would never actually go into his eyeball. That said, I don't think it's as cool as the one we saw with the explosion.
I don't think so either. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to stick with my guns here. My top gun in this one is the MI3 stunt.
Yeah.
The explosion.
And all the actual choreography and fighting, Tom Cruise is just flopping all over the place as he's getting his butt kicked. That you lose points for that too. So yeah, MI3 for sure.
Yeah.
9,000. 8,000. 7,000. 6,000.
So that was the iconic Halo jump from Mission Impossible Fallout. And due to how our bracket is set up, we're actually going to compare that one to the wire heist. So which one do you think is the better stunt?
Oh, wow. Okay, so I did love that one from Fallout because like there was a bit of a role reversal there where Tom Cruise became the Superman in that particular scene.
Little meta commentary there.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to say, just because like I'm not necessarily sure in that scene like what was done practically and what might have been shot on a green screen with a big ass fan blowing them up in the air. I'm gonna have to go with the more practical one that I know is practical, and that's the MI1 wire scene.
Yeah, I agree, the wire scene. Just because if we're grading on the quality of the stunt, we can see the stunt work in the wire scene, but in this one, I'm like, I don't think he got hit by lightning.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. That's how he became Superman.
Okay, it's settled, MI1, wire heist. So that was the helicopter chase from the end of Mission Impossible Fallout. What do you think?
I gotta say, helicopters just don't really do it for me.
No?
No.
He was actually flying that. Obviously, all the special effects and things that happened to it weren't real, but
I would
that
hope
doesn't
not.
impress you?
No, not really, no. I've never been, well, that's the thing, I've never been impressed with helicopter scenes in any movie, action or otherwise.
The most impressive part to me was the part where he jumped on the rope and then had to find a way to get into the helicopter.
Yeah.
That was cool, but yeah, the rest, it was just like, okay, yeah,
Exactly.
whatever.
That was the most impressive part of it was seeing him trying to get into the helicopter, and also the look of shock and surprise on the guy's face that's in the back. Like, what are you doing, dude? We're in the air. How did this happen?
Okay, well, let's spin up the next one.
Now, so I may hate helicopters, but I love anything having to do with water. And like from beginning to end, like that entire scene did it for me. Like I just love, like just water rides, and it looks so fun in the beginning, and then like I want to jump down something like that. I would love to, but
you want to jump into like an underwater Death Star hole?
I don't know if I want to. I want to have like a scuba tank or something. I want to have an oxygen mask at least. But no, yeah, and towards the end of that gave me a little bit of anxiety. But I loved it. It's much better than the helicopter scene in my book.
Yeah, and actually a little bit of trivia: Tom Cruise held his breath for 6 minutes under the water there, which at one point I think was a record, although it was beaten by Kate Winslet in Avatar 2. But no, yeah, I think just the fact that he dedicated himself enough to doing this underwater scene to hold his breath that long and really sell the performance and the claustrophobia down there, I thought was awesome. So I think this one clearly washes out the other one.
Absolutely, and of course he passed out, but that goes to show you the way of water.
Play the next clip. Let's do the next head-to-head.
Benji, open the door! Yeah, okay. Benji, open that door right now! Yeah, I'm trying.
Tom Cruise hanging on the side of a plane
Yes.
as it's taken off in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation.
That was the intro. Who can forget that? That was an iconic scene. I felt I was more stressed for Benji, Simon Pegg's character in that scene, like just how nervous he must have been trying to get him in that plane. I liked it. I liked it a lot, especially when the door finally does open and just how Ethan just snaps in like that. It hits the walls and everything. I liked it. I think it was good.
That was really cool. And that is something that's just like unimaginable, right? That you'd be hanging onto a plane as it's taking off. That's so wild that he actually did that. And then apparently during filming, for the plane to take off, and then come back and land took 8 minutes. So he was actually hanging on for 8 minutes. Obviously, he was strapped in with other stuff and wires and stuff for safety.
Yeah.
But that's commitment.
And do you think that when he finally got in, was that CGI or was that practical?
I think there were some elements of
I would
visual
hope.
effects in there for sure.
Yeah.
He's not really rocking it around like a ping pong ball. So let's look at which one we are comparing this one against.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom
come
Cruise free climbing that mountain at the beginning of Mission Impossible 2. What do you think?
I thought it was lame.
This is lame.
I'm just gonna lay it all out. It was lame.
What about
Yeah.
the jump? Although, apparently for this one he used a stunt double, and I think that you can't see his face for that part, so that
Yeah.
must have been where he did the jump. That didn't even do anything for you?
No, it's free climbing. I do that on the weekends.
You do that on the weekends?
Yeah,
Pete?
every single weekend. I mean, it's not
Okay.
that high up, but
We're-
I still do that.
We're gonna hang out on the weekend. I'm gonna see
We're
if you
literally
actually
gonna
do
hang.
that.
Yeah, we're gonna hang out this weekend.
But no, I agree. This one is pretty tepid. And also just the circumstance of it. This is just the beginning where he's just doing this for fun, and he's just like, and then he gets an assignment after this scene, and then whereas the other one, it's like the start of like a mission that really seems impossible.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going with the plane. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, the plane is the winner of that one. So now the bridge missile scene is back up again, and we're gonna see which one we're gonna compare it to now. Those damn gloves.
Yes, yes. So that was the Burj Khalifa he was climbing. Honestly, I gotta
The
tell
world's
you.
tallest building.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen Spider-Man do this numerous times. I'm not that impressed.
Whoa.
No.
What?
No, I'm sorry, I'm just not. I mean, those gloves don't even exist. Gloves like those don't exist. Sorry.
Spider-Man is more often than not a digital creation doing those things. He actually did that. He actually was climbing outside the world's tallest building. That's insane. I thought that was a masterfully crafted scene of the tension of the gloves giving out, of him trying to get into the window, and then the satisfaction of it finally breaking as he comes in. I thought that was awesome. They really make you feel how high up he is. I remember I watched this on a plane and I looked out the window and was like, ah, and I got like vertigo. I was like, don't watch this on a plane, people. But yeah, I thought this was incredible. You don't like it?
But going up against bridge missile though?
Bridge missile is just one cool thing. This was an extended sequence that I thought was, it kind of compares to the Mission Impossible 1 wire heist to me, of just the elaborateness of, and all the different layers of tension of things going wrong. And it really sells that he's doing this.
Well, this might be where we part ways, because like I'm telling you, I'm sticking with bridge missile. I feel like that is an iconic scene. It's the most memorable scene for me, and I'm gonna stick with that one. This one was okay, but again, I've seen superheroes climb buildings all the time.
Okay, fine, I'll give it to you. The bridge missile is bridge missile. All right, Akeem, we are in the quarterfinals now. And first up, we have the wire scene from Mission Impossible 1, and then we have the water heist from Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Which one do you think should move ahead?
I mean, I feel like this one is a bit of a no-brainer. Wire heist is probably the most iconic of those two, so I'm gonna stick with wire heist.
The wire heist is very iconic, and I do think it deserves to go. I just wanted to test you. I want to make sure you really believed it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think we move ahead the wire heist. And for our next head-to-head, we have the hanging off the plane scene versus the bridge missile, your favorites. So does hanging off the plane come close to bridge missile?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of layers in that one, but I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to stick with bridge missile. I'm thinking about what has been burned in my memory, and that has been burned into my memory. I think it's because it was also part of the commercials when they were actually when they were promoting the movie.
I remember that.
Yeah, so that was something that was just like all over the place. I'm gonna have to stick with the bridge missile.
Akeem, I really have to challenge you on this, because this is where I might have to draw the line.
Okay.
Bridge missile is cool, but it's just one little moment that, was programmed into our brains with advertising. But hanging onto the plane, every time I see that, I start to get a little sweaty. Like that is cool, that is intense, and that is impressive as far as stunt work goes. And I don't think the bridge missile holds a fiery missile candle to him hanging on to the plane.
Him hanging onto a plane? What is the big deal with hanging onto a plane for 8 minutes? I mean, you've been in longer flights than that. Come on now. What is the big deal?
I don't know about this.
Why should that one move ahead of one that's been burned into our memories due to advertising?
Again, I think
Just because of the practicality?
if we are judging on how impressive the stunt work is, hang on to a side of a plane for real, that certainly seems to trump, was probably some wire work of them pulling it one way then into the car, right?
Okay, yeah. If we're basing it on that alone, the practicality of it, I will give it to you. I'll concede the intro to Rogue Nation. I'll give it to you.
Yes.
I'll give it to you.
Okay, quick, on to the next one before he changes his mind. Okay, and for the finals, we have the wire heist from Mission Impossible 1 and hanging off the plane in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Akeem, what are you feeling?
This one's a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. We gotta go with the wire heist. The amount of tension that was built in that scene is just unparalleled. As far as everything that we've seen today, that one takes the cake.
I'm tempted to agree with you because it is incredibly iconic. It was masterfully orchestrated, and it's unforgettable. As we said earlier, it was parodied to infinity and beyond. Just want to check.
Yeah.
Hanging off a plane for real as it takes off, and then comes. And then when he ping pongs around inside and everything, that is pretty cool.
That is cool, but so is slowly being lowered into this white room and then just dropped because there's a rat that's like, yo, what's up? You got some cheese? I'm assuming that's what he said.
Yeah.
And then he gets dropped and he grabs his sweat. Like there's so much buildup in that scene. It's just like everything is just perfectly timed. I love that scene, and I'm not gonna budge from this. I feel like people watching right now will agree that particular scene is iconic, and it trumps that one.
You're right. It is the little details of like catching the sweat, keeping the temperature down, the rat.
Yeah.
If there was a rat on the plane, I might have to change my mind. But no. There were no sort of like rodents or anything. So I will give it to you. I agree with you, Akeem, that the best Mission Impossible stunt of all time is the original GOAT, the wire heist.
Thank you. I'm always right. Thank you. It's about time you agree with me. Jeez, I don't know why it took this long.
You're finally starting to make sense.
I'm finally starting to make sense when I'm talking about talking rats. Asking for cheese. Now I'm making sense. Okay.
We've crowned our winner. How'd we do? What's your #1 Mission Impossible stunt? Sound off in the comments, and we'll see you next time on Super Debatable.